This will be a webinar on the subject of text complexity. With the adoption of the new Common Core state standards, much of this work will be done by publishing houses, and the eventual texts will be largely reliable. However, in the meantime, and even when these texts are adopted, there will always be opportunities for teachers to introduce other texts they want students to interact with. Teachers selecting texts with which to challenge students will have to determine their suitability based on at least these two measures. We will begin with the qualitative first, and the information on the following slides comes from the appendix to the Common Core standards. Let's zoom in here a bit. Would you pause the webinar until you have enough time to read this text and slide, and then restart the webinar? The way you move a student from simple to complex text is often to move from explicitly stated truth to a kind of truth only implicit to the text, or to move from conventional to unconventional characters, or to violate chronology. These are judgments to be made by the teacher in terms of the challenge it presents to students. Here are 4 more qualitative areas by which to judge text complexity. Again, there's quite a bit of information on this slide, so please pause the webinar until you've had time to read it in some detail. When moving from single to multiple themes, you may be moving from lower elementary to upper grade readers. Or when moving from simple to complex themes or single to multiple perspectives, you may be moving from upper elementary to middle school readers. Or from low to high intertextuality, you may be moving from 9th to 10th grade readers up to 11th to 12th grade readers, or from college prep to honors or AP classes. Now let's move to quantitative concerns. Here are the commonly used software programs for determining readability. We've already talked about the Lexile framework and Flesch-Kincaid readability software. What follows is an example of how to use the Flesch-Kincaid scale already built into Microsoft Word. Let's open a document that I've been working on for fluency purposes, the novel Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. In order to use the Flesch-Kincaid software to determine readability, you must first open Preferences while in Word. Then open Spelling and Grammar. Scroll down to the box entitled Show Readability Statistics and make sure it is checked. Close out Preferences and you are ready to use the software. You should grab enough text to make sure the readability statistics are reliable. I usually grab several paragraphs, certainly more than 500 words. I also try to avoid passages filled with dialogue. Pick a starting place and click the cursor. Scroll down several paragraphs and hit the Shift button while placing an end click of the cursor. This will grab all the text in between the 2 cursor clicks. Then go up to the Tools menu and click on Spelling and Grammar. This will bring up a dialog box that will point out spelling and grammar issues in the text. I click Ignore All, since I am only interested in the readability of the passage and not in editing Stevenson's prose. Eventually, you'll be asked if you want to proceed further in the document, and just click No. At this point, the readability statistics will be displayed. The Flesch scale of reading ease is an inverse scale from 1 to 100. The higher the number, the less difficult the passage. A 78 is a much easier passage to read than a 28 would be. But what we are most interested in is the grade level equivalency, which is 7.1, or 7th grade, first month. The readability statistics, combined with the subjective qualitative judgments of the teachers, will produce the best reading experiences for the student.